I need your attention. Grab your kids, turn off your phones. Put them on silent. All these dings and dongs, we don't need them. Don't walk in front of me and grab this kid. Everybody grab their kids. Good, yeah, good. First of all, let's have a big hand for my group of helpers here that picked up all the trash for us. Good job. Yeah, it's very loud. Or maybe just the monitors are very loud, but yeah, they're just killing me. Thanks, bro. Okay. So, just again, one more time, do we have any Arabs here tonight who are not? Please turn your chairs towards me. I know this table of ladies is having conversation. It's okay. Marhaba. Yeah, thank you. Oh, they're still loud up here. If you can come down. Marhaba. Ahlan. Salamat. Ahleen. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, they're in charge, so we have to talk to them. Okay, let's try this again. Masal khair. Salam. Please, sit down, bro. Sit down. Okay, listen, I'm very, very happy to be with all of you here tonight. Let's have one more big hand for Turathi, the deputy troop. Guys, come on, sit down, man. We're gonna have fun. And another big hand for Kifah, who's going to come back up with us again. Kifah Hazreqi, all the way from Palestine. I'm very happy to be with all of you here in New Orleans. Please grab your kids. Please, I'm not kidding. Please grab your kids. So they're not walking in front of me. Oh, that's his kid. Okay. Please, so they're not walking in front. I'm just trying to do my job. Okay, so do we have any Arabs with us here tonight who are not Palestinian? Everyone's Palestinian? Yeah? Wonderful. And then do we have any non-Arabs with us here tonight? I saw one in the back with us here. Yeah? What is your name? Please, if you're gonna talk on the side, please go outside, please. What is your name? Huh? Jesse. Jesse. What are you? Just white? It's okay, there's nothing wrong with being white. I mean, there's a little bit wrong with being white, but it's okay. Yeah? And you just walk in here by accident? Oh, you're married to one of us? Oh, Mabruk, good job. You made a good choice. What's your name, sir? Ish? Ghassan? And good, that's great. How long you guys been married? Huh? 3 years. That's awesome, man. Very good. See, sometimes we marry, American, and this is what I know. Jesse and Ghassan's life didn't change that much. But Jesse's life changed a lot, right? Ghassan, he didn't become more white or more American. Her life changed, right? You were living a normal, regular American life, Jesse, then you met this immigrant. Sit down. And then all of a sudden your life changed, You started having 55, 100 cousins that you never heard of before, You're starting kissing people you never met before, dancing in circles. You started learning a bunch of numbers you never heard before, 1948, 1967, 242, 194. Your whole life changed. Please please, I'm begging you, please grab your kids and put them on the tables, please. Please, thank you so much. And I know we as Palestinians, we have it tough in this country. I know we do. Listen, this is what I always do whenever I meet white people. I always tell them so they understand that I am Palestinian like Jesus. Because he's one of us, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right, Khanto? He's one of us. Yes. Yeah. We should use him more, right, Imam? We should use him more. He's very famous. He's the most famous man in the history of the world. Okay, stop yelling at me. Most famous man in the history of the world, we should use him a lot more. He's one of us. See, we have to explain this to white people. They think Jesus had blonde hair and blue eyes and he's from Baton Rouge. That's not true. Jesus is one of us, right? Yes. He looked like he was from Silhouette. He didn't look like he was from Texas. That's what I have to tell people. Jesus was much more likely to look like somebody named Muhammad than he was to look like somebody named Brad. That's just the truth. So we always have to stay proud of who we are, man. But listen, I grew up in a white place. Everybody was white where I grew up. I was the only Arab kid where I grew up. Everybody was white. I was the darkest person in my school. Everybody was white. And I always knew that I was different, My dad spoke funny. We smelled like garlic all the time. We ate leaves from the backyard, I knew I was different. But my best friend who lived across the street was this little white kid named Tommy. We were friends, you know. But I knew we were different. His mom was different than my mom. I don't know what's wrong with these Arab moms. But they hate sleepover. She never let me sleep over anywhere. I used to say, Mom, can I sleep over Tommy's house? What is wrong with our house? Sleep here. Get Tommy along your friends and come and sleep here. Never let me sleep over anywhere. Now I'm Palestinian. For those people who don't know, Palestinians know we are raised a little bit different than everybody else. We are raised to be professional protesters from a young age. I remember when I was a kid, we'd wake up at 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and by 10 a.m. we were in New York City and we were protesting. And Palestinians, we march and we chant, and we don't care if it rhymes or if it doesn't rhyme. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your war. 5, 6, 7, 8, free Palestine. We don't care, it doesn't have to rhyme. We don't care. And I knew I was different. I never really knew how different until when I was a kid. It was Christmas time. And Tommy's mom took me and Tommy to the mall to go see Santa Claus. And we waited in line for an hour. And finally it was our turn, and Tommy went first, and Santa said to him, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And Tommy said, "Let me have a bike." And Santa said, "Okay." And then it was my turn. And that's when I knew I was different. Because I sat in Santa Claus's lap. And Santa said to me, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And I looked at him with my little Palestinian eyes, and I said, enforcement of UN Resolution 194, allowing us to return. Because we have different dreams, man. You ask a little white kid, what do you want to be? Policeman, fireman, doctor. Ask a little Palestinian kid, what do you want to be? Free. That's all. And so we're different. And I grew up with all white people, and I don't know if you know this, on the American government, Jesse, did you know this? Get off your phone, Jesse. Did you know this? The American government considers Arabs white. Did you know that? Did you know? Did all you Arabs know? Did you know that? Did you know that? The American government considers. Do you guys think you're white? No. Do you think you're white? You're not white. No. But we have to check white on the form. But we're not white. We deserve our own box on the form. Does everyone here in New Orleans agree that we deserve our own classification on the form? Yes. I want to start a rally right here tonight in New Orleans. We're not white. Yes, because I grew up with white people and we're different. We're different. We're not white. I don't know if you know this, by the way, all you little Arab kids, I don't know if you know this. Did you know that if you go to your white friend's house and his mom asks you if you're hungry, if you say no, she actually doesn't bring you anything to eat? Did you know that? It's the craziest thing. Did you know that when white people go to the grocery store, they come home, they put away their groceries, and then they take their bags and they throw them away? Did you know that? Yeah, not in my house. In my house, there's a bag full of bags. It goes in the little space between the refrigerator and the wall. My mom just stuffs it in there like that. My friends used to ask me, why are you coming to lunch with a grocery bag? I'm like, we got a lot of bags, bro. I don't know what to tell you. We're different. We're not white. Okay? We do business different. A white guy, he walks into a store, he gets $1 off, he thinks he got a deal. Not us. I've seen my dad walk into a store before. How much do you want for that? $20? $5. I'll give you $5. $5. We don't think anybody should be able to make money. I remember when I was a kid, I went to go get a shirt for school, and I said, Baba, I like that shirt. He said, how much? This is Arabic for how much? Well, how much? Two hands, you're dancing. One hand is just how much? He said, how much? And then I have the Arab dad. Does anyone else have the Arab dad who feels the fabric on the shirt like he's a fabric expert? My dad starts feeling the fabric. He's like, this is very good fabric. I'm like, you grew up in a refugee camp, okay, bro? You don't know what fabric feels like. And then he said the same thing every Arab dad says. Do you know how much it cost them to make this shirt? $3, maybe $4. So let's give them $5. I'm like, Baba, this is Macy's. You're not allowed to do that here. We're different. We are different. We bargain different, okay? White people bargain with logic. We bargain with emotion, okay? A white guy walks into the Mercedes dealership. He's very logical, you know? You tell me how much you paid for the car, I'll pay a little bit more, I get a good deal, you make a little bit of money. Everybody's very logical. Not these Arabs, these guys, they walk into the Mercedes, they have the money, but they're not gonna pay what it says on the car, okay? It's a matter of sharaf and honor. They're not gonna do it. But they bargain with emotion. I've seen them, okay? They walk, look, I really want the Mercedes, I do. But if I give you the price it says here on the car, do you know what will happen? Okay, do you see my children over here? If I give you this money, then I will not have money and they will starve and they will die. Is this what you want for me to have the car? And it works. And every Arab closes the deal the same way. They all close the deal the same way when they're at the Mercedes dealership. If you give me good deal, I will tell everybody. If you give me good deal, all of New Orleans Muslim society will come and buy Mercedes from you. Everybody has a connection. We are different. We're not white. Our moms are different. They're different. They exaggerate a little bit. Yeah? Like, have you ever met this Arab mom before? Khaltu, what does your son do? Oh, my son. My son is a doctor. Oh, okay, what's his specialty? Well, he does not really have a specialty yet. Oh, okay, cool. Where does he go to medical school? Well, he does not really go to medical school yet. He is 11 years old, but he's gonna be a doctor. They exaggerate too much. Are these kids okay? Okay.
Amen.
Now I know we're not white. Guys, have a seat. I know we're not white because I watch the news. Now for those of you who don't know, we Arabs, we watch the news all the time, all right? It's like a social activity for us, right? Your dads watch the news all the time, right? We call our friends over, we make coffee, we put out the bizar, and we watch the news. Because we're on it. All right, that's our TV show, is the news, so we watch the news. And we can actually be on the news even when the news has nothing to do with us. Like even when there's like a mass shooting in America, there's always a mass shooting in America, and it's always a white guy, it's never one of us, it's always a white guy. And they always come out 2 hours later and they say, we can now confirm that this is not terrorism. You know what not terrorism means, right? You know what not terrorism means, Imam? You know what it means, right? It means not us. Because when it is us, they don't say not terrorism. All right? When it is us, they have a news conference, and all of a sudden every white reporter becomes like a specialist in the Arabic language. Did he yell anything in Arabic? Did he say Lakbar? Did he say Lakbar? They don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they all become experts. Now, when it is not us, when it's a white guy, they have different words they use for him, right? Disturbed, deranged, delusional, crazy, depressed, all these nice D words they use for white people. That's not the word they use for us. What's the word they use for us? Terrorist. See, even the little kids know it, terrorist. That's how messed up it is. Even the 10-year-old yells out, terrorist. That's the word they use for us because they never talk to us, man. They only talk about us. And they have all these white guy mass shooters on the news. Listen, I live in Dearborn. That's how I know I'm not white. Okay, we don't have any mass shooters in Dearborn. We have criminals, but we have Arab crimes, not white crimes. We don't do mass shooting. It's not. I always see, you ever notice when there's a mass shooter, white guy, they always go to his neighbors and they ask his neighbors about him? And his neighbors always say the same thing. We're so shocked by this. We're so surprised. We never thought this would happen in our community, even though their community is the only community this stuff happens in. It doesn't happen in other communities. They're the community where this stuff happens in. And they have a different definition of a good neighbor. He's such a good neighbor, I haven't seen him for 5 years. Listen, my neighborhood in Dearborn is all Arabs, okay? If Hassan doesn't see Ali for like 45 minutes, she calls the cops. I think she's dead. Somebody come over to the house. She's supposed to be smoking on the veranda right now. I don't know where she is. When somebody does something crazy, Arabs, we don't have any privacy. When somebody does something crazy in my neighborhood, nobody's surprised, okay? Go start asking them questions. No, we are actually, Mustafa has been talking about doing this for a very long time. We are not surprised. We are surprised it took this long, actually, before he did it. We're different. We are not white. We're different, man. Different. And it's hard for us as Arab American kids, because we got to grow up with our parents, you know? These immigrants, these refugees. Raise your hand if you are a refugee from 1948 or the child or the grandchild of a refugee from 1948. Yeah? You guys are all from Silwan and Mazra Sharqiyya, that's why. Everyone is from Silwan? Raise your hand if you're from Silwan. Oh, damn. Oh. Okay, put it down. And then what else we have? Mazra? Okay, Mazra Sharqiyya, okay. All right. Wow. Is there anybody from anywhere else? I know Hassan, he told me he's from Arabi. I know Ghada from Ghazi. أنا من الناصري. How about you, sir? Turmus Aya? The Turmus Aya, okay. البيري. You too, البيري? إيه? عكا. أنا أمي عكاوية, yeah. I don't know. Silhouette. I've been there before. Beautiful. Lots of empty mansions. But I mean, that means we're doing very well. Listen, people always make fun of all the Palestinians that build mansions in Palestine. I'm in favor of it. Go build 1, 2, 3, 4. Let them know that we're not going anywhere. Yes, it might be empty for 11 and a half months, but it doesn't matter. They know that we're not going anywhere. Because Palestinians, I'll tell you this, a lot of people don't know this. Palestinians, I'm not ashamed to say it, we are the most successful people on planet Earth. The most successful people. That's right. We have more PhDs than anybody on planet Earth. More PhDs than anybody. We're the smartest people, we're the most successful people. A Palestinian guy, he's not just a doctor, he's the chief of staff of the whole hospital. He's not just the mechanic, he owns the garage. This is what we do. And people say to me, why are Palestinians so successful? I tell them it's very simple, we don't have plan B. Please grab your kids, please, all the loudness on the side, please, it's very distracting. We don't have plan B. We cannot mess up and go back to our country. And we work very hard and we never go on vacation. And people say to me, why don't Palestinians go on vacation? I tell them it's very simple. We don't like to leave our house for more than 2 or 3 days. We remember what happened last time we did that. So we're not gonna do it again. See, it is tough being Palestinian, especially being the Palestinian of listen, my dad was born in Jaffa in 1948, March 1948. When he was 1 month old, he and his whole family were ethnically cleansed from their house. And he grew up in a refugee camp in Amer. And just so that he could go to college, he had to finish first in high school, and he did. And just so that he could go from college to a master's program, he had to finish first in college, and he did. And just so that he could go from master's to a PhD program, he had to finish first in his master's program, and he did. And then he came to America, and he worked for a big company, and he has a big house and nice cars, and he put all his kids through college. See, this is the Palestinian story. We come from nothing to everything. That's our story. Yes. But do you know how hard it is to be the son of this person? Please, guys in the back, I can hear you. Please. Hey guys, I can hear you. Thanks, man. It's very hard to be the son of this person. I could never impress him when I was a kid. I used to bring home my test from school. I said, Baba, here's my test. I got a 96. Where is the other 4? I mean, please, please, please. I'm begging you, please. I'm just trying to do my job, please. Thanks. And it is hard to be, especially like raise your hand if your parents are immigrants. All of you here, right? Your parents are immigrants, right? Like they come from somewhere else, right? Comes from somewhere else in America. It's very hard for these kids. You know why? Because in Arabic, we don't have the letter P. We can't say it. We are the Palestinian people. We like to drink Pepsi and eat pizza. No pepperoni, because pepperoni has pork. This is the way we talk. Ish? Okay, where's your dad? Okay, go see him. Jesus. But I like her. She understands the rules. She was apologizing. She came over here and she apologized. I just want to go see my dad. Okay, no problem. We don't have the letter P. I always said, see, this is the problem. I always said the hardest job for an Arab if he comes to America would be the person who gives you your confirmation number on the phone. Because they can't speak English. They make everything political for no reason. It would be the worst job. Like, are you ready for your confirmation number? Okay, first it's gonna be A as in apple. Then B like Peter. No, B as in Peter, not B as in boy. B as in Peter. Yeah, I said B, not B. Okay, yeah. Okay, then the letter O as in the occupation of the Palestinian people. Then the letter H. H, walak H. H like hairy, H, yeah, H. Finally, the number 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I can't say 6, man. I tried, listen, when I was growing up, I tried to be a good little white kid, I did. But it was hard. It's hard to be a white kid in America if you are an Arab. It's hard to explain yourself to the white kids. These white kids came to lunch and they had white bread with peanut butter and jelly and a little bag of chips and a little juice box. Do you know what my mom gave me? Do you know what my mom gave me? Okay, have you ever had a metlubis sandwich? Okay, that's what my mom gave me, all right? Whatever was for dinner the night before magically became a sandwich the next day. And these little white kids, they had a bag of Doritos. You know what I had? My mom gave me bizzard for lunch, okay, bizzard. I'm like 7 years old at lunch. Yeah, I like my lunch. It's good. It's hard to be cool. I tried to be a good white kid when I was a kid. I used to see my white friends ask their dad for $20. Dad, can I have $20? Sure, Tyler, here you go, $20, no problem. I used to ask my dad for $20, but my dad doesn't say no. He just makes you feel like a jerk, so you never ask him again. Said, Baba, can I have $20? What? I said, can I have $20? No, I heard you. But what did you say? I remember when I was a kid, I was in my room, and my dad, he just walked into my room. And I said what any good white kid would say. Get out of my room! He said, what? What'd you say? I said, this is my room. I want my privacy. Get out! He said, oh, let me explain something to you. You don't have a room. Okay, I let you stay here so that you don't die. That's all. Right? We're different. We are. I remember when I was a kid, listen, man, I tried to be white. We came to America when I was 3, and by the time I was 6 years old, I was a good white kid, and I was playing baseball. Yes. When my dad would come to my games, my dad very supportive, but here's the problem with Arabs. Sit, Yaqub. Yaqub. Sit down. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, sit down. I played baseball like a good white kid. My dad would come to my games, but here's the problem. Arabs don't understand baseball. Arabs only understand one sport. What sport? Soccer, that's it. My dad would come to my games and says, Amer, look, I don't understand baseball. I understand soccer. It's very simple. Here there is a goal. Here there is a goal. You kick the ball in the goal. I understand hockey. You push that thing into the goal. I understand basketball. You throw the ball into the goal. But baseball, where is the goal? I tried to explain it to him. I said, Baba, it's very simple. You stand here, you hit the ball, then you run here, first base, second base, third base. Then you come back to home. When you get back to home, you get a point. It's called a run. That's how baseball works. And he says, so they are already standing in the goal? This doesn't make sense to a refugee. You know, why would you run everywhere and just come back where you are? You know, this does not make, this is a waste of running. So he came to my games. He's there with all his Arab friends, smoking cigarettes, big mustaches, speaking Arabic, and they're saying the wrong stuff. Touchdown, goal, you know, it's very embarrassing. So one day on the way home, I said, Baba, enough. This is embarrassing. I'm trying to fit in with all these white kids. You gotta learn baseball, okay? It's embarrassing. And he said, okay, no problem, no problem. So my dad did what Palestinian, Arab, immigrant, refugees do. He figured out a solution. He went to the store, he bought a baseball book, he read all the rules of baseball, and he learned baseball. And he came to my game the next week, and he cheered for me for 2 hours correctly. Yes! Isn't that a great story? Yes. But on the way home, I had to have a talk with him. I said, Baba, thanks for coming to the game. I really appreciate all your support, but it's pronounced...
It's 10 o'clock.
It's not funny, man. I mean, it's not funny. I said, Baba, thanks for coming to the game. I really appreciate the support, but it's pronounced pitch. I said, you're supposed to say nice pitch. My dad sounded like a rapper at all my baseball games, you know, it was not good. Please don't make that happen again. I don't know why that happened. Please, I'm not kidding. I'm trying to do my job, man. And so listen, it is very hard for us. I came here tonight for 2 reasons. First reason I came here tonight is because we as Palestinians, we have to stand up and support each other. And like, mashallah, you guys did a great job tonight supporting Reach and everything that we're trying to do here. And by the way, if you want to support a Palestinian comedian, because, you know, they're never going to put me on TV, you know, in America, ever, ever, ever. I wrote a book called Being Palestinian Makes Me Smile. If anyone wants to buy a book, I'll be standing next to Hassan's paintings over here. So please come stand with me and Hassan later after the show, and I will sign a book, and maybe you buy one of his paintings as well, and we can take a picture. But that's the first reason we have to support each other, because we're having a party here tonight in New Orleans, but there's a lot of other groups in America having meetings to make sure that we never have any of our meetings. Do you know what I mean? So we have to make sure that we support each other and love each other. Yeah, we can fight with each other, we can disagree, but we always have to support each other when the time is right. That's the most important thing. We have to support each other and love each other. In fact, I want you to look at the person next to you, and especially if you don't know them, look at the person next to you and tell them, thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Look at the person next to you and tell them, I love you.
I love you.
Look at the person next to you and tell them, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Because we Palestinians, we have to love each other and we have to support each other. That's the